everybody, it's Rain, and I'm going to show you how to skirt a fleece today. I always wear gloves when I skirt, and I like to lay down cardboard. I find it makes the cleanup process a little easier because any little VM and scraps that come out are on the cardboard and easier to just dump in the trash. So this is a 17.4 micron tested merino targhee cross fleece, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And I want you to know that this video can be used for alpaca, regular wool, Dorset, anything like that. This is going to show you how to skirt fiber. The first thing you want to do before you dump out your fleece is to weigh it, package and all, to make sure that your weight is correct. I like to skirt with the cut side, the side that was cut on the sheep, facing down. So the more white, clean part is going to be facing down, and the dirty part that could have VM and dirt, the tips are going to be facing up. So tips up and cut side down. And another thing you want to take note of as soon as you get your fiber out of the bag is if it smells funky. You want to make sure it doesn't have any moldy smells or wet, nasty smells. It should just smell like a barn or a farm animal. I honestly think it smells like salt, like a salty barn animal. So you want to stretch it out and make sure you can see in all the little nooks and crannies. I try to keep it in one piece. I feel like that makes it a lot easier. And you want to mainly go around the edges and look for shorter fibers, any big patches of VM or poop or really dirty stuff. Another thing you want to look for is the tips. Make sure they're not matted and that they still pull apart, otherwise they're felted and you won't be able to use them. Alright, we're going to go around the edges and get started. Get down to business. And one thing I forgot to mention, it's very important. If you find any evidence of moths, the casings, the eggs, the larvae, any dead moths, you want to get that fleece out of your house and away from your fiber immediately. I got my trash can right here. So we're going to go around the edges here. I've seen some poopy over here. There's some. Right here. Here's some little tags. Poop tags. We're going to take those out. Yeah, I'll take that out. There's some second cuts right here. I want to get that out. See, it's just a half of a staple right there. Let's go ahead and take all this out. A couple second cuts. See all that? That's second cuts. You don't want any of that. Right there's a big burr. Him out. This sheep got in a lot of burrs. There's some more second cuts. That's kind of matted. I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. This is a merino targhee ewe, and it is micron tested at 17 microns, 17.4 microns. This is the finest fleece I've ever touched, other than my alpaca. I have a Cree alpaca that is absolutely to die for. See that? It's just a half of a staple, as opposed to a full staple right there. Make sure these matted parts pull apart. You know, you can take your time with this, or you can go through it pretty quick. Just however you want to do it. you're gonna have to go through it and comb it. Like I'm gonna go through it and comb it anyway, so I'm gonna be going right back through it again, so I don't take a lot of time to skirt. I just get any big hunks of second cuts or anything I don't want, I go ahead and toss it. But you mainly want to go around the edges and give it a little shake. Give it a shake. See, and then you got some second cuts that flew out right here. All this needs to go. These little tiny bits and bobs. There's a big burr. Second cuts. Now, a lot of people, they would go ahead and throw away this. See all that VM? People would throw that away. Can if you want to. Me, I'll go through and I'll process it, and it'll be some gorgeous yarn. See, it's not matted, it's pulling apart. And if you look under there, some nice fiber under there. Now the little short pieces, I throw away the second cuts, which is just a cut in half staple where the sheared over the same spot and it cut the staple in half. I throw those away, but the little short pieces that grow around the edges, like where the sheep's legs are and the neck, pretty much the breech wool, I like to use it for making dryer balls. And you can wash it and card it and even core spin it or make a woolen spun yarn, and it works great. So I always keep it separate from the fiber, but I do keep it. Look at this. Oh man, I gotta take a moment to admire this. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Man. You wanna give it a ping test. Oh, it's beautiful. So right here we have a big burr. You want to always watch your fingers when you pull that out, because they could definitely prick you and it's not fun. Just kind of roll it right out of there and it'll come out. And you also want to look down the middle of the fleece where the sheep's spine would have been, right at the top. A lot of times it has a lot of VM there also. Pull any of that out. And I do recommend doing this on a skirting table if you can. You can look up other videos on how to make them. I just don't have the space for one, so I do this and it works just fine. So I definitely recommend one of those if you can. It'll help all the little second cuts and VM just fall through the screen that you lay it on a skirting table. combing it, these little short bits, if you look at this, pull up from here, it's shorter. You can card these, make dryer balls, all kinds of stuff. So I keep these shorter bits, but I do want to pull them off and get them away from the rest of the fiber, because it'll make my life easier later on. Once you're pretty satisfied with how your blanket's looking, I like to take all my little small pieces and I put them in a old grocery bag, labeled, tied shut, and I'll keep those separate from the main blanket, but I usually store it in the same trash bag together. Right here, I'll take a bag like this, these little pieces, put them in there and keep them in the same bag. I'm going to roll it up the best I can, try to keep it in one piece. And I usually put it back in the same bag that it came in, or I like to store them in trash bags, but I make it to where it can breathe a little bit. Some people like to use pillowcases, feed sacks, just about anything will work. I've stored fleeces for over a year and they've been just fine. They might be a little bit more dry or a little harder to clean, but they usually come out pretty good. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I've got a lot more coming in this series of how to prepare a raw fleece, from dirty raw fleece to finished yarn. And I hope you're enjoying my videos. Give me a subscribe, leave me a like, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, rainfiberarts.com. Thank you so much for watching. Look at that. That is gorgeous, man. Gorgeous. Oh, man. This is so nice. Look at that. It's beautiful.